All right, time to talk Lions and Saints. Huge, huge win. The Detroit Lions improved to 9-3, still tied for second in the NFC seeding with the San Francisco 49ers. Now one game behind the Eagles for the 1 seed as well.
Scheme,
3 games clear.
Plot.
3
Coming
games
for
clear.
the number 1 spot.
3 games clear in the NFC Central Division or North Division, but it's still the Central Division. But anyway, the NFC North Division, 3 games clear with 6 to go. The magic number is 3. Basically, you beat the Bears, you're pretty much home. Beat the Bears, beat the Vikings once, and that's pretty much a wrap as far as that goes. But that's been a wrap for a very, very long time.
It's been over.
Yesterday's game, Jared Goff, 213, 2 touchdowns, no picks, got sacked once. Jahmyr Gibbs, 8 carries for 60 yards. David Montgomery, 18 carries, 56 yards. They were back on point, Lindsay. Everyone, and look, there's some side stories we'll get into the JMO stuff. We'll get into the Hutchinson stuff. That was a huge thing on the morning show. Sam Laporta as well. But, Lindsay, we always get caught up with toys, and we're here at Feldman Chevrolet. The drop-top vet is right here. Toys, right? It's sold. Lindsey Hunter peeping out the drop-top vets.
Right.
You know what, though? When the snow's falling on the ground, you know what you need you? The 4x4 Tahoe. And you grade the road, and you're driving down 696 with no worries. The biggest thing to me, Lindsey, and we even saw Frank Ragnow go down in this football game.
Yeah.
They return to business as usual. I tunnel vision, 30 carries, $142, 2 touchdowns. The Saints cannot beat you when you do that to them on the ground. They can't.
No, the Saints are. I told you I wasn't worried about this game. I mean, the Lions jumped out to a lead early and kind of just held them off. But I wasn't worried about the Saints. Who was the Saints quarterback? Did they use 3 quarterbacks this game? Did Carr play? Did Jameis play?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they used 3 quarterbacks.
Taysom Hill, yeah.
All those guys, you can't. I mean, they're not going to be.
When you're playing 3, you got none.
You have none.
Right.
Exactly. So I wasn't worried about this game at all.
It's just, Lindsey, the offensive line looked like they took it personal. And well, I'll get to the JMO thing in a minute, but like on JMO's touchdown run, people were talking about Laporta. Penei Sewell, 2 yards into the end zone when the play line of scrimmage was at the 11.
Right.
Like Penei Sewell, you could tell, Lindsey. To me, you could tell they took it personal yesterday. Offensive line.
Well, think about it. That was their worst game
that we've seen.
And everybody kind of made a big deal about it. And we knew they were going to be better because they have the offensive line has never been the problem. They've never been the problem. And for them to have a bad game, it's okay. It happens. They have 17 games to play. You're not going to play your best all the time. They've just been the model of consistency, and they had a bad game, and they did come out and play the way that they normally play. And that's what, that's what you dominated a bad team.
And all the talk coming into it was is Goff going to play a clean game, and how is Goff going to bounce back and all that. And to me, that certainly that plays a part. But the biggest thing that I needed to see is this team, quote, fixed. 148 yards rushing the football.
Right.
They're fine.
Oh, no doubt. I would like to see Gibbs get double digit carries, but he's still 8 carries, 60 yards?
60 yards, 7.5 a pop.
Can't beat that.
And again, Lindsey, that's by design.
Yes,
you're trying to keep him at a max, I would guess, in the low teens.
Right.
As far as carries go. That's probably – in an ideal world, you would have 30 carries and 20 would go to Montgomery and 10 would go to Gibbs, I bet. If you gave them, said, what's your perfect mix? Or 20 and 12. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you had that, then A, you won the football game, and B, you did what you wanted to do.
Yeah, and you can tell that's what the Lions are doing. It's just the same thing we talk about with J-Mo all the time. We're seeing him being incorporated more and more in the offense with, different in and rounds and screens and things like that. And that's what the Lions have been doing with young guys. And no different with J-Mo. Everybody was all up in arms talking about, he's a bust. He can't. They know what they're doing. They're using him more and more. We're seeing it. It's manifesting right in front of us. And now, the naysayers are starting to be a little less and less, except Sam Flannel.
Except Sam Flannel.
Right.
And this is the overriding This is the overriding storyline, I think, from this game Sunday. And Lindsay, I'll give you credit. You said this in July. You said it in August. You said it in September. You said it in October. You said it in November. You said it last week. You'll probably say it this week. They are 9-3, and what DNC ENT says, the 1 seed is alive now. Need Dallas to beat and get the tiebreaker on Philly, and we need to beat Dallas and get the tiebreaker versus Dallas. But DNC ENT, yes, you're 1 game behind the Eagles for the number 1 spot in the NFC. I know that doesn't fit a lot of people's narrative because I was told Aaron Glenn needs to get a new place of employment and things like that. But there they were yesterday, taking the football away. Guys, look, are they a top 5 defense in the National Football League? No, they are not. Are they a top 10 defense in the National Football League? No, they are not. But what did we discuss going in? Because I always remember these things. If they can somehow get to 15,
right,
16, middle of the pack,
right, and improve the run defense.
Improve the run defense, which they have done.
Right.
Anybody, there's no one out there, that can say, look, this run defense isn't better. Now the Saints had 113 yards rushing, but it took them 36 carries to do it.
Right.
So I don't have a huge problem with that. Alvin Kamara had 2 touchdowns, but he had 14 carries for 51 yards. He was averaging 3.5 a pop. I can deal with 3 yards per carry. No doubt about that. Is the run again? Maybe I'm guilty of this sometimes, but I like to oversimplify things. Are they way better against the run this year? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Obvious. Yeah, that's
now
obvious.
Stop being a yes man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was supposed to say no.
No, but I saw what I needed to see in that regard. First and foremost, offensive line's okay. Now, the Ragnow thing. We'll await word. I would suggest you follow Matt Broder, one of our Lions insiders, on Twitter. When news breaks about the Ragnow situation, he certainly will have it all for you. But I'm curious to get the people's takes out there. What was your main takeaway from the Lions win yesterday?
Mine was they did exactly what I thought they would do. They would jump out on them early, and they would cruise to a victory. I mean, it got a little, dicey. Playing teams like that, it's hard. You get a little complacent when what it was 21-0 first quarter or something. Yeah, I mean, you human nature. You relaxed a little bit, and you let New Orleans come back a little bit. But I never was worried about that game. I had no worries. I thought the Lions were going to do exactly what they did, take care of business, regardless of how it looked. You got a W. Now people are nitpicking about, we didn't get any sacks or whatever. You won the game, and that was the most important thing. All that other stuff is just for, giggles.
Mr. K. Wells 4 brings up a good point, too. How about all 4 of our top draft picks from last year? All of them made good plays and were heavily involved, and gotta love it. And Mr. K. Wells 4, I am in agreement with you. 2, it's one of those things where I've always said this, Lindsay, that you get yourself in trouble when you're counting on rookie parlays, right? You're counting on a rookie parlay, certainly in December. But you're not wrong. And the other thing that I like to see was you saw Brian Branch make a splash play on defense again. He was back. And look, I don't expect you to just pick off Patrick Mahomes for a pick 6 every single week that you step on the field. No one expects that. But I was waiting on that, and I saw it. I'm really, really happy I saw that, Lindsay.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing a team that's not as good as you, and you're watching some of the things that you did, not so well last week, now you start seeing the things that you saw during the domination. You see things happening. You see the D-backs making big plays. You see your defense, living up to what they were supposed to be. You see the offensive line get back to the norm. You see Jared Goff play a clean game, You see them incorporating some of the things that we've been waiting for, like J-Mo and all that stuff. That's what you're building towards the playoffs. That's all they're doing. They're building and seeing, hey, what works, what doesn't work, because all these things are going to be taken from the regular season and incorporated in the playoffs. I know Lions fans aren't used to that, but that is what's happening, people. That is what's happening.
WoodwardSports.com, chat thread, jump into there, get your thoughts out there. El Gato, if they play the Cowboys in the playoffs, I'll take Dallas money line all day. Okay. It matters where they play the game, man. You mean to tell me, and Lindsay, you're a great resource for this because you've lived it before. That day, say the Lions are playing the Cowboys because they got the Division I. They're playing a home playoff game. So if it's Lions-Cowboys, it's at Ford Field. That's a non-negotiable. You tell me this, Lindsay. You guys were heavy underdogs to the L.A. Lakers. Right. One of the biggest upsets to ever win the NBA title. Can you imagine? You were obviously at Game 3 of the NBA Finals in 2004. Lakers-Pistons. Did that environment help you guys win? That place was a zoo, man.
Yes.
Now picture that. You remember it in your mind, right?
Absolutely.
Times that by 10 and make that Ford Field.
Look, I'm never going to – if they play the Cowboys, the Cowgirls as I call them, there's no way I'm picking the Cowgirls. I want the Lions to destroy them. I don't ever want to see them succeed in the playoffs.
Can a crowd carry you?
Yes. It's going to be so electric in there. It's going to be crazy.
That will be the craziest environment of the year in the National Football League.
Yes.
Far and away.
And it's that could possibly happen.
It's going to happen. Like they are, Lindsay, let this sit in, everybody. Let this sink in, everybody. The Lions are playing a home playoff game and are going to win the division. They're like, what, minus 500 or something like that on DraftKings, which I told you guys to take it when it was minus 200. That was a gift after week 1. But whatever, I digress. Get right won, by the way, too, Boise State. Lindsay, you go back to your roots. Boise State. And, the David Montgomery, plus 400, 10 touchdowns, that officially cashed yesterday also. I'm just saying.